the We Wreck Records podcast. Riffs are a vehicle.
We gotta have those tasty ass riffs to sneak the message in.
War on Women are a feminist hardcore band that speak truth to power. They explore what I've rarely seen shouted from stage at a rock show. Abortion, violence, rape, rage for the kind of outdated feminism that excludes sex workers, trans women, and real conversations. Time Under Tension has got some bangers.
When I finally got into and understood Bikini Kill, I loved that it was angry and sassy at the same time.
If you put this record in a time capsule, someone in 50 years was going to find it, what would you write on the note?
Shit was really hard. We hope that very soon someone will relieve the pressure, because if not, things are going to explode.
War on Women is a band that people can easily digest because they're so fucking good.
Hey, I'm Xtina. Welcome to We Wreck Records, a show dedicated to the music that moves the needle now and forever. Today, we have a band that is moving the needle now. Shawna from War on Women with their new album, Time Under Tension, which is powerful and melodic and riffy and says a lot of important things that need to be said, which is an important thing in this day and age, in the modern world. Hi, Shawna.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I've been so looking forward to chatting with you.
Yeah, dude, it's been ages. We went on a download tour. It was a long time ago, and a lot has changed in the world since then.
That's very true. You
make energetic punk rock music. How did it make you feel when you first found it, and how does it make you feel now? Listen to it and to make it.
I remember when I finally got into and understood Bikini Kill, I loved that it was angry and sassy at the same time.
This show is presented by Grillo's Pickles. Grillo's Pickles make the freshest, crunchiest, most delicious pickles. And even if you're not a pickle fan, you should try Grillo's today. Why not? Live a little. You can find them in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store, so chill out and eat a pickle. This show is proudly presented by DistroKid, and we have a special deal for all the musicians out there looking to release their new music fast. DistroKid helps over 2 million musicians around the world release on all major music streaming platforms and YouTube. You keep 100% of your earnings, can access a huge range of features, and if you like this show, support this show by taking advantage of this incredible offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid. Just head to distrokid.com/VIP/WeWreckRecords. Let's go.
So that resonated with me, that angry did not have to mean meathead, thoughtless, violent necessarily, that you could still kind of be yourself, and you didn't have to put on, you didn't have to pretend to be one of the guys to be able to play angry music. And also, you can sing however you want.
Yeah, you can be
clearly,
you can make
right?
beautiful music. You don't have to be
yeah.
Rah, rah.
You don't have to try to sound like a dinosaur when that's not your real voice. It's an instrument, I guess, but it's that's not what you sound like, is it? It's not what anyone sounds like. But and it can be fun, but it's I don't have to do that to prove I'm tough. I can be fucking tough and wear nail polish and have long hair and be angry and deserve to feel angry. And maybe deserve to feel angry more than you, depending on what I go through in life versus you, I just remember feeling pretty, cool and powerful that I could sing along to that stuff and didn't have to pretend to be someone I'm not.
Yeah, It's interesting, thinking about, I just started reading Kathleen Hanna's book. The things they were fighting for, in some ways have gotten worse. The reproductive rights thing. If you told a bunch of girls in 1995 that this is what would be going down in 2026, I think they would have been really mad at you.
I never would have thought when starting this band that having a song about abortion in 2012 would still be relevant and I'd still be singing about it. And I'm sure the fucking, artists in the 70s that were also singing about it cannot imagine that we're still doing it. Like, so it's fucked.
So we need
Welcome
music
to America.
We need music at a time like this. That's what we
Okay,
need.
well, I've got some coming out.
Got some,
May
she's got
8th.
some- and it's really good. Not to sound
Thank
surprised. It's killer. Like, it's just like every single song has its own little world, and I like Hunger Stones. It feels like the closing song of a movie, and I thought it really stood out to me. Like,
From your lips to Goddess's ears. I hope someone hears you and is like, I should put that at the end of the movie. That would
so
be
good.
great.
What kind of movie would you want it to be for?
Oh, let's just do. I mean, I would have loved if it was like in Wuthering Heights or something.
Yeah.
As an intimacy coordinator and as just a, media watcher,
Yeah.
I am interested most in like just fucked up stories, just stories of twisted sexual shit, gray and non-consent. I love helping tell those stories. I love helping actors feel good telling those stories and like not taking that shit home with them. And I love watching a good fucking like, whoa, this story's fucked up. Like I love that feeling. And so, yeah, any kind of movie like that would be fine.
What kind of conversation do you want to have with your music as sort of a feminist punk rock band?
I think something I come to often is just this idea that there's always something fucked up to learn about. There's always some new thing that you're like, wait, we did that? Our country did that? White people did that? Like because they don't fucking teach you the reality of our country in school. And so I think of it more like, oh, I just learned this thing. Like, did you know about this? And so a lot of our songs are like that, where it's just like, here's a story. I'm going to share with you what I know. I'm not trying to say I'm an expert. I'm not trying to say, how dare you not already know about this piece of history, right? It's just like, here's something I think should be in a song because we need to remember this,
Yeah.
I don't want this story to disappear, right? And so it's like a lot of offerings, I think.
Yeah, well, you're a human rights band, really, more than a particular, like, you're not just like a feminist band. You talk about human rights. You talk about,
Well, that's
and that is,
that's an interesting argument. I wonder if I agree with that premise or not, because feminism should absolutely cross-sect with every single issue that exists. Basically, I've said this before, whatever your pet issue is, environmentalism, animal rights, like fucking campaign finance reform, whatever, like there is a feminist slant on it. There is a feminist way to think about it because we are half of the world.
Yeah, man.
And
Hi, guys.
we are human beings and we matter,
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, it's all in there. Like whatever I'm talking about, even if I'm just talking about like, trans women, black women, like trying to lift them up or something, it's like they're fucking women, like of
Yeah, man.
course I want to talk about that. Like
We're people.
I can't just be talking about white cisgender woman shit, which is what I am
Yeah.
full of.
But I think that's what makes great rock music and, independent rock music, punk, metal, whatever. Like, it's like my friends used to do covers of Rage Against the Machine in high school. And that was
And you're like, what do you have to be
what is
mad
this
about?
about? What is this about?
What is your problem?
We actually got told not to have anti-establishment thoughts. They did Killing in the Name at school assembly, and we actually got, and it was the best day ever. We're all like,
Right.
yeah, we're really we're gonna have some anti-establishment thoughts. What did Tom Morello say? We're talking about music and the message and riffs and the power of all that stuff recently, and we're talking about like how important good fucking music is for this. No one wants to hear a Noam Chomsky lecture over a shitty piss weak guitar.
100%.
You gotta
100%.
it's gotta be powerful music, and Time Under Tension has got some bangers, and I think
you.
one of my favorite ones is Serve, and that has
cool.
a powerful message, and it's like, okay, my notes were Pretty Love Riff with 6 Fs. It has 6 Fs. It's
Riff.
filthy. Riffs are a vehicle, like they drive home the message. Can you
Yeah,
tell us?
I'm not interested in shitty music. I'm
No,
not interested in the message being more important than the music. I think
no,
you can do both. I think you can do
100%.
both. And like, if you like, like whatever, no judgment. If you like the shittiest folk punk, like political stuff, like good for you. I don't.
No.
But like, the music has to be good because like people need different avenues to find the politics, to find the message. That like we need a spoonful of sugar, and that sugar looks different for every individual.
Be
So
rock
like
and
we got to
roll.
have those tasty ass riffs to like
Yeah,
to sneak the message in. And if you're already down, then you're already down.
100%. Can you tell me more about Serve?
Yeah. That song is I sum it up by saying ACAB also means we don't act like cops to each other. And then if
You messed
going
up
a
the
little
acronym.
okay, all cops are bastards.
It can't also mean that.
Yeah, it can't also
All of
mean
us cannot. No, it doesn't work. Carry
we
on.
can't be yeah, blah, 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 A, B, S, 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 S. We can't act like cops to each other. We can't police each other when we really are on the same team.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's kind of about recognizing like we all have more in common than we don't. We outnumber the rich asshole pedophiles in power. Like we have the power and they want us to be infighting so that we can't fight them. And then a little more specifically, it's about like the tension between like white woman feminism and leaving behind black women and black people and saying you're for a cause and then kind of falling short when it's time to really step up. So it's like the difference of between being an ally and an accomplice. And I'm really all about like how can we get closer to being accomplices
That's
in
cool.
the fight for equity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of about all that. And the coolest fucking part is that right now, maybe as we speak, there is a choreographer and a couple dancers in LA that are working on choreography to this song, and that's gonna be our music video, which will come
Dude.
out like in a month or so. Like they're doing this beautiful thing to like represent that sort of like racial tension, but also like we have to fight together, we have to be on the same side, and also like fuck the police and like it's all in there. And I've seen a couple clips of their rehearsals and it's gorgeous, and so I'm already super excited about that video. It hasn't even been filmed yet, so I'm just putting it out in the universe to
Well,
like catch that when it's out.
thanks for picking one of my favorite songs for a video. I appreciate it. It was really thoughtful.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, but music is good. Like, I don't know, sometimes just these conversations, like all of our massively differing viewpoints, all of our unique perspectives. I don't like fighting with people. This isn't a question. I don't like fighting with people. I want people to understand, and I wish we had new ways of finding shared understanding, because I don't think it necessarily is lecturing people. And I think music can be a powerful way to do that, because I think it's challenging. And, like, it's a weird world we live in, dude. Like, I watched that Manosphere documentary the other day, and I was like, the poor boys were just like, we don't have any dads or role models. We need someone to look
Right.
up to. And it was like, oh, I'm worried about you guys. Like, come on.
And that's a lovely thing that it fostered some like empathy. And I think that's lovely to have more of that. But you're right. I'm not into our music being like preachy.
Yeah.
I don't like being preached to. And that's why I kind of come at it more like, hey, I'm going to share this thing I learned, or hey, I'm going to
Yeah.
share what I'm fucking pissed off about right now. And then if you're pissed too, great, we can be pissed off together. Let's figure this out. Let's do something about it. That is a lot more
Fun.
appealing to me than
Yeah.
like, fuck you for not knowing this, for you're not doing enough, and being negative
Yeah.
like that.
And it's joyful. I think your music is quite joyful.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, good.
Like,
Because when we
that's
get together in a room,
it's
God, do we
joyful.
just all deserve some fun for half an hour?
100%.
Let's
Like,
fucking have a good time at this show.
um, 100%. There's an important thing. Yeah. Well, Precious Problem has this
Mm,
melody,
mm.
and it's like your vocals have that power the way like Heart has power. Like, like you're not like, la, 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 like there's the power. And I think
That's
what
high
makes
praise.
you
Thank you.
what makes you feel powerful?
Oh God. I feel like, full disclosure, I feel like I'm trying to find mine again. I feel like I've, since COVID, been really broken down and lost a lot of my sense of self and feeling secure in what I believe and my opinions and my ability to say and do anything worth anything. And that's been kind of like a private struggle, not the kind of thing you post on Instagram or something, but it's the truth.
Mm.
And I feel like I'm finally starting to like get out of that and see that it's possible and like do some really hard work to to keep caring about people, but to stop caring about what people think if they're not the ones like in the trenches with you also doing the work. You know what I mean? Um, and so I don't know if that's age. I don't know if that's doing, IFS therapy, internal family system therapy. That's my new therapy I'm doing. Thinking about shadow work and stuff like that. Or just like going through hard shit and being like, I'm tired of feeling bad. Like it's
Yeah.
it's all that. So I don't know what makes me feel powerful yet. I'm trying to find it inside myself, I guess.
Hopefully on stage is a place.
There it is. Thank you. That's a better answer. That's a better. Cut that. Cut that. Cut that. Cut that. Cut that.
No, like
No, but you're
yeah.
right. On stage with a fucking microphone and people in front of me, and they're having a good time, or even if they're not having a good time, and I'm like, by the end of the set, you're gonna be having a good time. I'm gonna win you over. Like that. Like fun out of spite. Like all of that is good shit. I love that. So yes, I do enjoy being on stage and being free. Anyone that's like seen us play, I'm clearly moving and dancing in a way that like is just thoughtless.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the best way. I'm just fucking moving. It's not dance moves. It's not for anyone. It's not for someone to think I'm hot. Sometimes it's like, oh, you think this is hot? Sarcasm, weird dance move to counter that,
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's just something really liberating about being a woman of a certain age and like moving your body and having it be for you. And then also being like, yeah, fucking look at me, look up here. Like, and then they do it. That is power. And so I do try to use that for good.
Yeah, man. Well,
Acknowledge it a little bit.
I don't I know a lot of people who feel that way who have feel that way after COVID. Like it's
Mm.
taking a while to kind of get back into the headspace. Like it changed everything. It changed all of us. We all lost years of our lives. Oh, and
And
I was
I
about to
think
say,
we,
often in pivotal ones, I'm like, well, pretty much, it's not like I copped it worse because it was like my 30s, like by 30s.
they're
It's not,
all,
I
they're
think if I
all
was
pivotal
15,
years.
it was probably bad. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I
it's
can't
like,
imagine. Can't imagine. But
it's,
yeah, I think I was someone in survival mode. I could not be creative for a long time, and I was just like, just survive, keep going to the next day, next day, next day. I'm fine. This is fine. We're gonna be fine. And I think it took a long time to be like, whoa, that was hard, and I'm not fine. And so that's something I'm trying to do in this new therapy is like slow down and be in touch with like what am I actually feeling? I don't have to be in survival mode. Like it's okay to check in and process and move through.
have you ever had someone who was a member of like a group that you're speaking about that isn't you? Or someone you're talking about something that's actually directly impacting them rather than you, because you do open lift up the corner on things and go, hey, look over here. Have you ever had people come up to you and go, like, thank you for like talking about
Oh,
that kind of stuff?
like yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, we have a lot of trans and non-binary fans and like we have a big like trans rights song called Second Wave Goodbye. And it's a fun song, which again I feel like it's actually good to encourage trans joy, you know, because I feel like common narratives around trans people are just all about tragedy and death or something. And
Yes.
so like it sounds fun, and it's also saying like fuck you to haters, and you know, trans people deserve that, right? So yeah, I think that, you know, them having fun at the shows and dancing, and even if no one has ever specifically been like, "Thank you so much for writing Second Wave Goodbye,"
Yeah, sorry, that might be a bit, yeah.
they say other things, or they're there and they're showing up, and they dig the song and they share the song, and like they sing along, and you know, and it's fun. So yeah, I think people say thank you in their own way,
Yeah.
for sure.
You're working as an intimacy coordinator in film still, yes? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that is kind of being a supervisor on set when there's kind of sex scenes or intimate scenes, that kind of stuff, and you're making sure everyone's comfortable and that it's cool. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think, okay, what do you think informs people's sexual expectations more, porn or film?
Whatever they're watching more of.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, just whatever they're exposed to.
real. Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, and I absolutely worked on a musical called Spring Awakening, which if anyone knows that musical, you know, like why it's like, oh, big deal that you know, there's like it's young people, and that so the actors were young, they were all like above 18, but like barely. And there's like, you know, a sex scene, a simulated sex scene, and it's, you know, and it's kind of like not surreal, but like it's not like literal.
Yeah.
It's a little interpreted, you know, the magic of theater, whatever. But still, like there's thrusting, right? Like it's a sex scene. And I remember like my first conversation with the actors and the understudies. Like I gathered everyone and I was like, look, director, I'm going to need 20, 30 minutes to like just talk to these kids before we even start like choreographing this stuff. And they were like, yeah, of course, whatever you need. And so like I went over just basic tools we can use to feel better in the room or take timeouts or whatever they need. But I also was like, let's talk about porn for a second. Let's talk about sex for real. And I wanted to bring it up just to be like, just a heads up in case you didn't know, that shit is fake and it's for money. So like what looks good on camera does not necessarily feel good in real life. And I, you know, went in depth a little bit more in an appropriate way, just for the record, and then tied that to the idea that, like, you know, this sex scene in this musical, like, some people interpret it as, like, a little bit of coercion between this young couple. And then other people interpret it as, you know, she's young and it's like a repressed society and she's not supposed to want sex. And so she has to sort of be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like, that's all she knows to do. But deep down, she does want to do this. And he kind of knows that. And so he's like, you know, like, no, it's okay. It's me. It's okay. You know? And so we like decided which one are we doing, you know, with the director, of course. And what does that mean? And how can we show, you know, this like, I'm supposed to say no, but maybe non-verbally I'm saying yes, so that it like is, you know, like, and I'm saying we can get really like technical and like little movements and eye contact all mean something. But I found that conversation to be like really rewarding, and I was really happy that they were so receptive. And even if I just told 4 people that like porn is entertainment and it's not necessarily real, like that's 4 more people that maybe hopefully have like a better outlook on watching it, you know? 'Cause it can be fun as long as you understand that like you cannot expect what happens in there to happen in real life.
Yeah, it's interesting. It shouldn't be primary sex education.
It should not.
Pro sex work, get it, you know, go out there, get it, 100%, like whatever makes people happy, they're consensual, they're owning their own money. I think the transition from the porn studios to women in OnlyFans making money is cool. And, you know, once again, it's probably just a few people making heaps of money and everyone else, whatever. But
that's what it seems like, yeah.
Welcome to capitalism. On a related note, On a related note, you have a song called "The Movie Fear" with Reese Witherspoon. As a
Yeah, the
millennial,
movie Fear starring Reese Witherspoon.
the movie Fear starring Reese Witherspoon. As a millennial, that has one of the most iconic sex scenes in history. It is.
Yes.
Is it Mark? Is it Mark Wahlberg in that? Yeah,
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg
Marky Mark.
fingering Reese Witherspoon on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
If you are a millennial, you remember it, I would assume. So how does, as an intimacy coordinator, how do you throw in one of the biggest and also kind of questionable? Yeah.
I watched that movie for the first time within the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
I did not watch that when it came out.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
right.
I'm not interested in Marky Mark in a movie. I just was like, not, I was too cool. I was too punk.
Yeah.
No, thank you. You know, I also, for the record, which is very strange, like my biggest crush around that age was Gary Oldman.
That is
And
hilarious.
and then David Duchovny.
I mean,
like
that
I
checks
just, yeah, just men. Even though I was like 14, I was like, they are men. Yay me.
Yeah.
You know, really
Probably a
poor
safe
me
bet,
in the
actually,
end.
to be honest. I think boys are God.
Yeah, not interested.
F boys,
So,
yeah.
and so, yeah, I finally saw that movie, and for whatever reason, I saw it for the first time on a very strong edible and alone in my house. And I have incorporated edibles a couple times in the writing of lyrics on this album. Edibles got me out of my writer's block funk post-COVID. Because
Nice.
again, I was just not feeling creative. I didn't fucking know what to talk about. I'd been in my house for 2 years straight, right? Like what, I don't know. What am I feeling? And so edibles allowed me to silence the internal critic that would immediately say, well, don't even write that down. That's terrible. You know? So I was able to just get things out on paper and then edit it when sober and see like, oh, there's something here actually. I can work with this, right?
That's awesome.
So one of those adventures was watching the movie Fear and writing down whatever came out, and then it absolutely turned into a song.
I love that.
But I personally, like when that roller coaster scene happened, me high, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. Like I thought it
It is
was
amazing.
perfect.
No,
I
it
thought
is.
everything about it was perfect. I love his face. I love her reaction. It looks realistic to me. Like I didn't necessarily know that's what was going to happen because I didn't know anything about it.
No, of course not. It's an
and-
insane it's an insane plot twist.
Yeah, so I was just like, now we're talking, now the movie started, and love that it just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder. So yeah, I'm a fan.
love I just think it's fucking hilarious because of your job that you chose to be inspired by.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. I don't think they had an intimacy coordinator in 1990.
No, of course
Something?
not, of course not. But I feel like, you know, yeah, it's. I think it's pretty well done. All considered. So
100%.
hopefully they felt okay on set. I don't know.
I hope so.
And I would love to hear Reese if you're listening. I'd love to hear if you had a good time. I'd love to hear what you think of the song when the album is out on May 8th on Smart Punk Records. It's called Time Under Tension. Reese, let me know. Reach out.
I would love to see that. She should be in the music video, and you should just recreate the scene.
Can I tell you what I did?
Please do.
Like right after making the record, we all went to Sue's house, Sue, our bass player,
Yep.
and we watched the movie Fear, and I filmed us watching it.
So you're going to use that?
So we could just make a video of like a reaction video. We could also like speed it up and put it to the song,
Okay.
or literally just people watch the movie with us in real time. I don't know.
I got an idea.
Okay, tell
Basically,
me.
get people to record themselves on their phone or their webcam while watching that scene. And you kind of, it's got like a certain point, like a sync point everyone has to go
Yes.
from so you can line them all up. So you've got to be able to hear the movie a bit in the background. And
Yeah.
then you basically have a horrific monster montage of war and women fans watching the movie Fear starring Reese Witherspoon. Look, that idea is free. I will give it to you. That is
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
How is like working in that, like looking granularly at performance in a film cinema context, changed the way you kind of view performance in a musical context? Has it kind of affected the way you feel like you're
Well, I
in
think
the room? But is it, or is it different because like you've got the immediacy of an audience and it's rather than
yeah, it's more like theater, if anything. Like film acting can be smaller because you can actually see their face, like real close up on your screen, right? And so everything can be a little more subtle and smaller, and that's sometimes like the absolute right choice. And in theater, you gotta, cheap seats in the back, right? You gotta make it seen. And so like, and I was a theater kid. I did plays and stuff as a kid. So, like I was already aware of that when I started playing music, and that, I wear eye makeup in War on Women, kind of because of that idea that someone in the back, they're going to be able to see my eyes better and see the crazy fucking faces I make if they can see my eyes, if I have eye makeup on. Like that's why it exists. So yeah, it's more like big stuff that ties to the meaning of that line, that lyric, knowing full well that, like, of course I can't totally tell them with movement what it means, and they can't necessarily hear it in a shitty punk club, but it's just giving the vibe of what something is about, or just like, look, the vibe is, the song's too heavy, let's just have fun, actually. Finding a balance. Yeah,
it is fun. And War on Women show's a lot of fun. You get to learn, you get to dance, to bang your head a bit,
a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the magic. It's all the magic. Yeah. Okay. Final question. If you put this record in a time capsule and buried it, and someone in 50 years was going to find it, what would you write on the note?
Shit was really hard. And we hope that very soon someone will relieve the pressure, because if not, then yeah, things are going to explode.
That's quite poetic.
That's really what the title means, what it's about. What happens after all that time under tension? Do we succumb to that, or do we find a way to lessen it and
that's a
get
really
out of
powerful
it?
concept you just explained very well.
Thank
Like,
you.
it's because it's something I think
It's the first
about.
time I've said that. That was off the dome, baby. That's off the dome.
Yeah, but no, but it was a really eloquent way of putting it, because it's like, yeah, what is going to, there is a pressure cooker. Someone, like, it's turned up to 11. I don't even know if we're at 11 yet, but it feels like 11. What happens? Does it, I mean, me being the hippy dippy, stupidly optimistic person that I am, I'm always like, well, the pendulum's going to swing back and we're going to have like a nice humanist world and we're all going to live together and blah, blah, blah. But
maybe eventually. That doesn't mean we're going to be around to see it.
yeah, my main theory with that is it's after a cataclysmic climate event, and it's probably the children of the three-legged mutants who are the only ones who survived. So
Definitely possible.
Is that-
I still, for the record, I still think it's worth working towards a better world. We know that better worlds are possible, better societies, all of that. It's still worth the work. It's never too late, It's never too late until it is, and so we have to keep working for it, because it's better to avoid everyone getting blown up
let's
than
try.
to have people get blown up.
Let's do what we can,
Let's do what we can. Everybody,
let's just-
no one has to do everything, but let's all do what we can.
And honestly, what makes us human is telling stories and making music and dancing to music. Music and stories is what we do as human beings. And
Yeah.
you're doing it. And you've got a whole
I'm doing my
bunch
best.
of ones. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, it's very
Yay.
early. Well, thank you, Shawna, of War on Women. I think everyone should go and listen to Time Under Tension. It shreds. It's a good time. You'll learn a little. You'll bang your head a little. It's a whole experience. Thank you very much for joining me, and may the dark forces be with you.